If you lie about having cancer, eventually people are going to wish you actually had it. This is the awful TikToker arrested for lying about her cancer.
Diagnosed with cancer, raised $37,000, but was given a heavy sentence as the cancer never existed. Born March 2003, her name is Madison Russo, and she was a University of Iowa student when she began feeling, quote, just a little bit off. She experienced sporadic fevers, some bloody stools and random nosebleeds.
Okay, so that's a little bit more than just a little bit off. If I'm pooping blood, having nosebleeds, and getting a lot of fevers, I'm not going to say I'm a little bit off. Already red flag, man.
Leading to a checkup with her university doctor. On the 10th of February 2022, at the age of only 19, Maddie was given a diagnosis she never could have predicted.
I got the call from my oncologist and they found a mass on my pancreas and I had stage 2 pancreatic cancer at just 19 years old.
Out of 25 different cancers, pancreatic has the lowest chance of survival.
The 5-year outlook of survival is a slim 11%.
However, this initial announcement video was already somewhat suspicious. She kept on looking to the left like she was reading off a script, which would be a pretty strange approach to talking about a life experience. It's her looking at her script for me. Perhaps she wrote it out to keep her words concise, but also how she was diagnosed didn't sound right.
You don't just have an oncologist. It takes weeks, months. You have to find one that specializes in the kind of cancer you have.
Yeah. My friend got diagnosed with cancer a couple years ago, 2.5 years ago now, and she still has it, and it keeps going away and coming back. And it's not something to joke about. It's just not something to joke about, man. It's just not.
These red flags were clearly overlooked, as Maddie was featured by her local news, in which she'd stand by her original story. My phone rang and it said Iowa City Oncology. I stepped out of the classroom and took the call. They told me they had found a mass on my pancreas and that I had stage 2 pancreatic cancer. I was terrified and I definitely still am. I was in shock. I didn't think it could be true. I'm so young and I wondered how this could happen.
And the thing is, people calling her out for lying before there's a lot of evidence, they're right. But imagine all the hate that those people are getting just for calling out a pretty person who's young, who says she has cancer. Imagine all the hate a lot of those people got.
I went through all the emotions and I was pretty numb. I remember hanging up the phone and I was a mess. I was literally bawling, but somehow I ended up getting the courage to wipe away my tears and went back into class, which now when I think about it was pretty crazy. You never want to get cancer, and if you do get diagnosed, you can't choose where you get it. Of all the ones, why does it have to be this one? Again implying to everyone that she'd been given the worst cancer possible. To make matters worse, surgery was not an option as my tumor is on the tail of my pancreas and it's very deep rooted. Doctors said that if they went in, the surgery would do more harm.
More harm than automatically dying?
There was more risk than reward, and as a result she'd instead be doing 15 rounds of oral chemotherapy along with 90 rounds of radiation. She'd document the journey as a way to help her cope, trying to act as an example that she could.
Wow, so she's gonna be an example, pretending she has cancer and then proving, oh, I can get through this, blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, she's just somebody who tans and oh man, I hate this. I hate this dumb kid.
Maintain looks and lifestyle. She'd write round 14 of chemo ended last Friday and by Sunday night, I decided to throw on my running shoes.
So she's not throwing up sick and feeling weak and sleeping 18 hours a day? From the medication?
And see where they took me. Well, they took me 6 miles. I'm thinking the bags of blood I received earlier in the week fueled this one and made me speedy.
Is that how that works?
Although
Bags
to
of
a
blood?
person with leukemia named Anna Tower, this was again very strange.
That's not how it works.
She wrote, when I saw Maddie's post about her going for a run, she looked pretty. She had all her hair and was strong enough to go running.
Yeah, the effect, it's not even a side effect, it's an effect of the medication, is you lose all your hair. And you feel like you have anemia.
A run I was missing since my diagnosis. So there I was sitting on the couch, looking at that post and asking myself what was I doing.
Yeah, she doesn't have a wig on. It's her real hair. Do you know how shameful it is, or how embarrassing it is for a woman, especially like a young pretty woman, to have to lose all of her hair to radiation and see side glances and people like looking at her and little kids who don't know any better like whispering about it? that lady's bald. You know what I mean? And they have to get wigs. That's crazy.
Wrong. Why was I bored, weak, and couldn't even think about walking, let alone running? Walking to the car to get to the hospital was a challenge. I was thinking I did something wrong, or maybe that I was not strong enough, passively implying Maddie's appearance was also highly suspicious.
Yes.
People began to ask, how do you have chemo and keep all that beautiful hair? To which she'd post the following video.
How I am keeping my hair during treatment with chemo and radiation.
Biotin is just a B vitamin. It doesn't really help you keep your hair. That's a lie. That's just marketing. I'm a marketer. I need a new frame, but this is from Harvard Business School Online. Digital Marketing Strategist Certificate. I'm also in school for business right now. Not a humble brag, I just do know a lot about marketing. Biotin, I think it's more if you lack biotin, your hair falls out. That doesn't mean that having excessive biotin somehow supersedes the fact that radiation and chemo make your hair fall out. Let alone the side note that biotin, are you even allowed to take it on chemo? Or I don't know, are you even allowed that?
My mom found this. It's biotin with collagen and keratin.
Yeah, and when you take collagen orally, you lose a lot of the effects half the time. Like, a lot of this stuff's marketing. And she fell for the marketing, and she's saying, this is how I kept my hair. That's not how it works.
Claimed that she'd kept her hair by using vitamin supplements, but with comments like, I guess the biotin is stronger than the chemo,
Yeah.
she'd adjust her claim stating it did fall out sometimes.
I was like brushing my hair and a few like pieces were like coming out as I was brushing my hair.
She'd post this photo to show she wasn't lying.
No, it looks like she cut it. Look at these straight lines. That's just cutting hair. Straight lines. She's just cutting the hair. That's not how it looks when it comes out. She just cut that.
But it was pretty damn obvious these were simply from a haircut. Additionally, Maddie was super tanned in every single photo, which again was weird as they don't let you tan or use self-tanners during chemo.
Right.
Her response, get this, was that the radiation treatment was keeping her golden brown.
What? Fucking. Does radiation give you a tan? She could have Googled that. It may change skin color. Most skin reactions happen within the first 2 weeks of starting. Okay. Yes, it can cause your... Oh, I learned something. It can cause skin in the treatment area to change color, including appearing darker or tanned. Radiation levels through the skin reach... I did not know that. So it could cause your skin to become permanently darker. That's interesting.
Maybe this radiation was also recharging her energy, as Maddie gave talks at St. Ambrose University, the SAU Generosity Night, and for the National Pancreas Foundation.
I'm going to guess that this snowballed out of her control. She wanted attention without really thinking of the consequences. She wanted to like be a hero and have people congratulate her on winning. And I think this snowballed out of control, and she probably, if it didn't get attention, she probably would have stopped by now, but now she feels like she can't, which all her fault still.
In the process, she'd appear on podcasts.
How would you define the term pancreatic cancer?
The first word that comes to mind is just
Why is
ugly.
she smiling?
Before announcing she'd gotten a second type of cancer. It is with heartbreak and shock that I share the news that my cancer has spread to my blood and is acute lymphoblastic leukemia on top of my original diagnosis of pancreatic cancer.
So lying about one cancer wasn't enough. Okay, now she loses all sympathy. She lost all of her sympathy with me now. Because she's furthering the story. She's furthering the story. What the hell? What a dummy. I hate you, Maddie. This is dumb.
Should therefore update her GoFundMe, writing Maddie's cancer has been...
Hold up. You didn't say anything about a GoFundMe. Now it's fraud. Now it's a legal problem. She's literally getting money from this. Okay, hold up. She's literally scamming money. Money that could have went to somebody else who has actual cancer. Wow, I'm talking fast. Wow. She's taking money from people who actually have cancer now, because people who have money to donate to her and are donation minded could have donated to somebody else who actually has cancer, but now, nope. Now she's getting it. She's stealing money from people with cancer, essentially. That's messed up. That's legally fraud. No sympathy at all for her now. Now she's a criminal.
progressively getting worse and has spread all over her body, including throughout her blood and also on her spine. She's tried everything and given it her all. Chemo, radiation, and other methods have no longer helped. As a result, donations flooded in, totaling $37,800. Maddie's close family friend Peggy
I worked for years to get my bank account to that before stuff hit the fan, and then I had less. You know what I mean? That's crazy that people just donated to her for lying about having cancer.
whose husband died of pancreatic cancer, also sent Maddie a whole package of support materials.
And every single person who says she's faking it is the bad guy. Everyone who says she's faking it is a piece of crap.
Including $500 in gift cards. To keep the money rolling in, Maddie befriended a fellow cancer patient named Charlie, who passed away in October 22, leading Maddie to make the following post. This just absolutely breaks my heart. Charlie and I would text each other daily, talking about all the ups and downs of both our battles with cancer.
So Maddie, product marketing, part-time student, she's a marketing student too. I'm a business student. I chose against marketing because the market's oversaturated. She's doing everything right. She's taking the perfect pictures for profile pictures. She makes sure her teeth are perfectly white and shiny in every picture. She makes sure she has the look, and she has a sad sob story. She's literally using her marketing. My gosh, these emojis are killing me. She's a marketing student. Who could have known?
And she was seriously just a sweet, genuine soul. We were the same age, lived within minutes of each other, and could relate to each other 100%. Sadly, it seemed Maddie's cancer was also getting worse, as she'd post a compilation showing everything she'd been through. Included were photos of her in hospital, although it would be through these that Maddie was finally exposed.
Something's not right.
TikToker Scrub Hacks, who worked inside a hospital, noticed Maddie's medical equipment was installed incorrectly.
What is going on with that chest port? I am not a chemo nurse, but this doesn't look like a port to me. The dressing is really screwed up with...
My friend sends me pictures of her when they put the port in, or when they put medication in the port. And this does look way off compared to that. Like, I literally get Snapchats from her while she's going through like the chemo or whatever. So that's why I'm like especially offended. What the hell, man? And the port doesn't even work half the time.
her feeding tube that's not primed. Let's go closer to her nose. Is that the end of the feeding tube?
One comment clarified, chemo nurse here and that ain't a port, again confirmed by a medical doctor.
So you can see that the actual positioning of the port per se is not accurate. Also, the way that it's secured, the type of tape that's used is not the same kind of tape that we would use in the hospital.
Compare Maddie's port to that of Anna Tower, and the difference is almost comical.
And I don't know if you've ever seen a cancer port. They're not usually this sloppy.
But the equipment problems didn't end there.
There's nothing in that bag. This would be where the nutrition would be. And if she was actually being fed via feeding tube, this tube would be full of this white liquid. There's nothing in that. So she would just be pumping air into her stomach.
Other photos featured the same inaccuracies.
Here's another one. No substances in the tubing. And her port is still messy. Also, do you see that right there? That little purple spot? Yeah, that's supposed to be down in her stomach.
All of which were taken not inside a hospital, but instead her own apartment. Every other photo was simply found on Google.
This is a picture she...
They found her pictures on Google. They reverse image searched. Oh, she's done. She's cooked. How can you be a marketer and not know that's a thing?
posted. That is a European outlet. This picture is from Google.
Except for some other extremely shameful posts.
This picture alone should put her in jail. She took this picture, drained from chemo era. This was on her TikTok. Somebody reverse image searched it and found an actual person with cancer. She literally stole this photo.
Maddie took photos of actual cancer patients and posted them to her TikTok as if they were her own. Well, as a result, police received a report that Russo had taken money and donations from more than 439 donors, leading to a warrant to search the Bettendorf apartment of Madison Marie Russo. There, police found a brown paper bag with medical supplies, an IV pole with a feeding pump filled with cotton balls, 2 boxes of transparent dressing and a wig, plus a brand new 2023 Kia Sportage purchased with her GoFundMe money. Police then searched Maddie's medical records taken from Genesis Trinity, which showed that all although Russo was a patient, she was never treated for any cancers or tumors. Police therefore froze her bank account, and Maddie was arrested.
There's the picture. Look at the marketing student. She doesn't look good there, huh?
And Maddie was arrested.
Very, very unhappy. Very unhappy. That's what happens. How tall is she? Oh, these are the inches, right? 5, 6, 7. I thought she was like 6'3" for a minute.
6 months later, Maddie appeared in court, making the wild claim that she had a broken family and faking cancer was her strategy to bring them back together.
I didn't do this for money.
So she lied again.
Greed. I didn't do this for attention.
You literally got money and bought a car with it. I didn't do this for greed, but I still took the money and bought a car with it. If you wasn't doing it for greed, you wouldn't have done a GoFundMe.
I did this in an attempt.
So you saved the money, right?
To try and get my family back together. It didn't work.
Have you ever actually tried to get them back together by any other means? Do you have evidence?
And it only got worse.
Maddie's lawyer then explained how being exposed ruined Maddie's life.
At the gym,
Good.
she's had people approach her and verbally accost her.
That should be the minimum every single day of her life.
She has been at the store.
How dare the actions, the fraud actions that I do have consequences? What does people being angry at her have anything to do with whether what she did was legal or illegal? I don't understand this lawyer strategy. How people approach her, they could approach her and punch her in the face every day. I'm not saying that's right, but that still should have no bearing on the trial. This isn't about, that would be a separate case. How people are mean to her, what does that have to do with evidence of her doing this maliciously or not? They're trying to say what she did was not malicious. That's their defense. Then why are they talking about other people being mean to her? It's just to get a sob story, and that's pathetic. That's emotional manipulation.
Or where she's been flipped off and cursed at.
Oh, boo-hoo! People are mad at her for stealing money from other cancer patients. Boo-hoo!
And yelled at.
Although those who were deceived still demanded extra punishment.
I hope Maddie Russo is held responsible. I hope Maddie Russo has to spend a great deal of time in jail. I hope Maddie Russo has to pay restitution.
I hope she goes to jail.
Preyed on my emotions and my giving nature.
The judge determined that Maddie had shown remorse.
She's gonna get a slap on the wrist. I'm telling you.
I doubt that you will ever commit a crime like this again.
But still charged her with first-degree theft. As a result, Maddie was given a 10-year suspended prison sentence.
What is a suspended prison sentence? A suspended prison sentence is a court-ordered alternative to jail time where a convicted person serves their sentence on probation instead. So she's on probation for 10 years. Okay. 10 years of probation. Let me walk into a bank, steal $60,000. Actually, that was only one GoFundMe, so she stole a lot more. Let me walk into a bank, steal $100,000, and because it's my first time and I'm never going to do it again, I just get 10 years probation. Let me do that. Is that fair?
100 hours of community service, a 1,003...
That's nothing. A 40-hour work week is normal. That's less than 3 weeks of work.
$370 fine. And she was ordered to repay $39,000 to those who donated to.
Hold on, wait a minute. The one GoFundMe alone, she took $60,000. So the fine and paying back, so she literally came out ahead.
To her GoFundMe.
That's what you're saying.
However, her donors still weren't happy.
She literally came out ahead.
As a pancreatic cancer patient who donated to her, GoFundMe refunded the money. This sentence is appalling. She lied to the court.
It's not about them getting their money back. It's about her coming out ahead or not. Because this just literally is proof that you come out ahead. She didn't even have to go to jail. Probation? I bet she doesn't do drugs anyway. So what does she care if she has to pee for a drug test every now and again?
It was for greed, not her family. To cause people to hesitate to help is the reason she should be in jail. Judge/prosecution, you failed. Maddie Russo has since disappeared from the internet.
And only got 10 years probation. Do you guys think she should have got a harsher sentence? I 100% think that was unfair because she literally came out ahead. She literally had more money in her wallet. She didn't have to pay back everything she stole. That's crazy. She didn't even have to pay back everything she stole. And she never saw jail at all. That's insane for her to maliciously steal money from other cancer patients, basically. That's crazy. That's crazy. What do you guys think? SunnyV2 always dropping the bangers. Watch the original video that's linked in the comments. Okay, that's all. Bye. Okay, subscribe to me, please. Bye.